Have you ever noticed how the weight of unforgiveness feels heavier than the original wound itself? You replay the offense over and over, building walls around your heart, thinking you're protecting yourself when you're actually building your own prison. The person who hurt you has moved on with their life, but you're still carrying their burden, letting bitterness poison every good thing God tries to plant in your soul. Listen to what Jesus teaches us. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. Mark 11:25. This isn't a suggestion from our Lord. This is a divine directive that connects our forgiveness from God directly to our willingness to forgive others. Jesus places this command right in the middle of teaching about prayer and faith, showing us that unforgiveness blocks our communication with heaven itself. Think about what Jesus is really saying here. When you stand before God in prayer, asking for His mercy, seeking His provision, crying out for His intervention, you cannot approach Him with clenched fists, still holding on to grudges. The same hands that reach up to God for grace must be open hands that release others from their debts against you. Your vertical relationship with God cannot be right when your horizontal relationships with people are poisoned by unforgiveness. The context here is powerful because Jesus has just spoken about moving mountains through faith and prayer. But before you can move mountains, you must remove the obstacles in your own heart, that bitterness you're nursing, that resentment you're feeding, that anger you're justifying. These are not weapons protecting you. They're chains binding you. You want God to hear your prayers, but unforgiveness creates static on the line between you and heaven. Notice that Jesus says, whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone. He doesn't qualify it by saying, if you have anything against anyone who deserves forgiveness, or if you have anything against anyone who apologized first. The command is absolute because God knows that unforgiveness doesn't hurt the other person nearly as much as it destroys you. That person who betrayed you, who lied about you, who wounded you deeply, they might be sleeping peacefully tonight while you're being devoured by bitterness. Here's the truth that will set you free. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is not reconciling with someone who remains dangerous or toxic. Forgiveness is releasing your right to vengeance and trusting God to be the judge while you walk free from the poison of resentment. You see, when Jesus says that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses, He's revealing a profound spiritual principle. God has forgiven you an unpayable debt through the blood of Christ, yet you're withholding forgiveness for offenses that pale in comparison. Every sin you've ever committed required the death of God's own Son, and yet He forgave you freely. Now you're refusing to forgive someone who hurt your feelings, damaged your reputation, or even broke your heart. The enemy wants you to believe that holding on to unforgiveness gives you power and control. That's a lie straight from hell itself. Unforgiveness gives the person who hurt you continued access to your peace, your joy, and your future. Every time you rehearse what they did, you're giving them free rent in your mind, allowing them to steal another moment of your life. But when you choose to forgive, you're not letting them off the hook. You're letting yourself off their hook. You're declaring that their actions no longer define your story, control your emotions, or limit your destiny. You're choosing freedom over bondage, healing over hurt, and obedience to God over allegiance to anger. Today, God is asking you a direct question. Who are you holding prisoner in the courtroom of your heart? Who are you refusing to forgive, and what is that unforgiveness costing you? Your health is suffering, your relationships are strained, your prayers feel hollow, and your joy has evaporated, all because you won't release what God is asking you to let go. Make the decision right now. Speak their name out loud if you have to and say, I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I'm choosing freedom. Release them to God's justice and God's mercy. Take back the emotional energy you've been wasting on resentment and invest it in your healing and your future. Jesus doesn't give us impossible commands. If He's telling you to forgive, then He's also giving you the power to do it through His Spirit living in you. Stop waiting to feel like forgiving and choose to obey regardless of your feelings. Your emotions will catch up with your obedience, but your obedience cannot wait for your emotions.